Then Jalavahana, the merchant's son, expounded the Dharma in this way to those beings in animal states. As this exists, this arises. Because of this is produced, this is produced. Thus, due to ignorance, karmic formation arises. Due to karmic formations, consciousness arises. Due to consciousness, name and form arises. Due to name and form, the six sense sources arise. Due to the six sense sources, contact arises. Due to contact, feelings arise. Due to feelings, craving arises. Due to craving, grasping arises. Due to grasping, existence arises. From existence arises aging and death, sorrow, limitation, suffering, unease of mind, conflict, and strife. In this way, the great aggregates of suffering come into being. Furthermore, it is this way with cessation of ignorance. Karmic formations cease, and likewise, through the cessation of this great aggregate of suffering. Having given the Dharma teaching to those beings in the animal state, O noble goddess, at that time, at that moment, Jalavahana, the merchant's son, returned home with his sons, Jalambara and Jalagarbha. And then at another time, after feasting and drinking at the great festival, Jalavahana, the merchant's son, lay intoxicated on his bed. At that time, at that moment, a great omen occurred. As night came to an end, those 10,000 fish died and were born equal among the gods of the 33. The moment they were born, they had this thought: by reason of what virtuous act have we been born among the gods of the 33? The answer rose in their minds: in Jambuvipa we were 10,000 fish. While we were in animal state, Jalavahana, the merchant's son, satisfied us with water and food. We were also given a Dharma teaching on profound principle of dependent origination. He pronounced to us the name of Ratnashikan, the Tathagata, the Arhat, the fully enlightened one. By reason of this cause and condition, we were born among the gods. We should go to where Jalavahana, the merchant's son, is, and make offerings to him. Then those 10,000 sons of gods disappeared from among the gods of the 33, and went to the house of Jalavahana, the merchant's son. At that time, while Jalavahana, the merchant's son, lay sleeping in his bed, those sons of gods placed 10,000 pearl necklaces at his head. They placed 10,000 pearl necklaces at the sole of his feet. They placed 10,000 pearl necklaces on his right. They placed 10,000 pearl necklaces on his left. They rained down great shower of Mandarva flowers and Mahamandarva flowers. They played divine cymbals, and the sound of these cymbals woke up the people of Jambuvipa. Jalavahana, the merchant's son, woke up too. Then those 10,000 sons of gods rose into the sky, having rained down a shower of divine flowers in other regions of King Shureshvara Prabha's realm. They went to the Adavisambhava, the forest pool, and scattered there a great shower of divine Mahamandarva flowers. Becoming invisible in that spot, they soared back to their divine abode. There they frolicked in the 5 sensual objects and enjoyed themselves. Delighting on what pleased them, they experienced great glory and good fortune. Then, as day broke in Jambuvipa, King Shureshvara saw these omens and asked his astrologer and chief ministers, "Why did those signs appear last night?" They said, "May it please your majesty to know, in the house of Jalavahana, the merchant's son, there rained down 40,000 pearl necklaces and cascades of divine Mahamandarva flowers." Then King Shureshvara said to the ministers, "Sirs, with kind words summon Jalavahana, the merchant's son." The astrologer and senior ministers went to Jalavahana's house and said to Jalavahana, the merchant's son, "King Shureshvara has asked for you." When Jalavahana, the merchant's son, together with the senior ministers, went to King Shureshvara, the king asked Jalavahana, last night such omens occurred. Do you know the reason such omens appeared? Then Jalavahana, the merchant's son, replied to the king Sureshvaraprabha, I do, your majesty. Certainly they were omens for the death of the 10,000 fish. The king said, How do you know? Jalavahana said, Your majesty, let my son Jalambara go to the pool and see whether those 10,000 fish are alive or dead. The king said, So be it. And then Jalavahana, the merchant's son, said to Jalambara, Son, go. Check whether the 10,000 fish in the pool Visambhava are dead or not dead. Then the boy Jalambara went quickly to the pool Visambhava and saw that those 10,000 fish had died. He saw that there had been a great shower of divine Mahamandarva flowers as well. He returned and said to his father, They are dead. As soon as he had heard these words from his son Jalavahana, the merchant's son, approached King Sureshvaraprabha and gave this message in detail. Your Majesty, I beg you to know, 10,000 fish died and were reborn among the gods of the 33. It was through their power and my power too that there were such auspicious omens last night. At my house too there rained down 40,000 pearl necklaces and divine Mahamandarva flowers. Upon hearing this news, the king was delighted and full of joy. Then the Tathagata said to the noble goddess, Bodhisattva Samuchaya, O noble goddess, if you think the king Sureshvaraprabha at that time, at that moment, was another, do not see it like that. Why? Because Dandapani, the Shakyan, at that time, at that moment, was called Sureshvaraprabha, O noble goddess. If you think that the merchant Jatimdara at that time, at that moment, was another, do not see it like that. Why? Because King Sudana at that time, at that moment, was a merchant called Jatimdara, O noble goddess. If you think that Jalavahana at that time, at that moment, was another, do not see it like this. Why? At that time, at that moment, I was the merchant's son called Jalavahana, O noble goddess. If you think that the wife of Jalambara at that time, at that moment, was another, do not see it like that. Why? Gopa, the Shakya daughter, at that time, at that moment, was his wife called Jalambara. At that time, at that moment, Rahula was his son called Jalambara, and the noble Ananda was his son called Jalamgarba, O noble goddess. If you think that the 10,000 fish were other than that, other at that time, at that moment, do not see it like that. Why? At that time, at that moment, the 10,000 sons of gods, such as Jalanantara Tijoraja, were the 10,000 fish who I satisfied with the water and excellent food, and to whom I gave profound Dharma teachings on the principle of dependent origination, and that pronounced the name of Ratnashikan, the Tathagata, the Arhat, the fully enlightened one. By reason of that virtuous cause, they have come here to receive the prophecy of supreme and perfect enlightenment. Furthermore, because they have listened to this Dharma teaching with intense joy, aspiration, supreme joy, and reverence, they have all received prophecies in name, O noble goddess. If you think that the forest goddess at that time, at that moment, was another, do not see it like that. Why? O noble goddess, at that time, at that moment, you were the forest goddess. On these counts, O noble goddess, let it be known that while revolving in cyclic existence, I have fully ripened many beings towards full awakening, and all receive the prophecy of supreme and perfect enlightenment. This concludes the 17th chapter, the chapter on previous lives of Jalavahana's fish disciple, from the King of Glorious Sutra, the Sublime Golden Light.